All right, y'all. So this episode was crazy. Billy was the one who made the road the whole time. It was Twinkatha all along. It indeed was Twinkatha all along. Let's get into this episode. So we open up the first scene with Alice, right? She looks good. Like she looks like she's about to go out on the town, go out for a night club or something. Like she looks just like how we saw her when we first met her, right? So I'm like, okay, do we have Alice back or something? I thought that, we did this whole video on Jack Schaefer, talking about the season, and she said whoever died is dead for good. So I was like, maybe Jack was playing with us. But then here comes Rio, right? Looking at Alice like, hey, sus, what's up, mama? Are you ready to hop in the Uber right now? Because, like, we've got a very specific place to be. We got a very specific place to go. And Alice is like, wait, just hold on. I need more time. What's going on? Like she's like, I can really do something with my life now that I've broken the spell. And Rio's like, girl, you are a protection witch. You died protecting someone. That's it. Any other questions? If you ain't got no more questions, let's go before they start charging. Because when the Uber shows up and you not outside, like they start charging, charging fees, adding fees and stuff. So Rio's like, we gotta go, girl. So Rio takes Alice. Jen's banging on this door, mourning Lydia, like, not my good sis. They got my good sister. They got my sister. Agatha's over here having a chat with Rio. Rio's like, hey, guess what? I see that your coven is given very much hospice. Thank you so much. Rio's like, the bodies are dropping. Thank you. Just as you promised. But this kid, Billy, he's really disrupting the sacred balance. And, Agatha tries to act like, I don't care about that kid. And Rio's like, sis, I've been watching you. This whole walk with another woman's son on this road that doesn't. And then Agatha screams, stop, when Rio gets to the word doesn't. And I really think that Rio was about to say on this road that doesn't really exist or doesn't exist or something like that. Rio then tells Agatha that, guess what? You have been getting special treatment this whole time, which honestly, if you watch the finale, you find out that that's true. Even though Agatha protests against it, because Rio could have taken Nicholas when Agatha was out there leaning on that tree, biting down on that lemon. Like, she could have taken him when she was supposed to take him, right? So here Twink and Jen are, right, talking about the fact that Rio is the Green Witch with a capital G. Green stuff, of course, is about the entirety of the life cycle. Decay is included in that. And so Rio is death and whatever, right? Like we know. They go out and they try to find Agatha. But Agatha's up here talking to Rio. Rio ends up telling Agatha that what Billy wants is a violation. She said the son of the Scarlet Witch stole a second life. I can't let him do the same for his twin. I have to take him. And then Agatha's like, all right, girl, if you're this big bad force of nature or whatever, go take him. But apparently Rio cannot, because I guess Billy would just reincarnate if Rio killed him or whatever. So Billy would have to turn himself in and just like basically restrain himself, like turn himself in. Agatha said, okay, fine, I will deliver Billy to you, but you just have to let me live a long time. And then you have to stop pursuing me and you have to stop making my life hell. Rio agrees and then leaves. I really like this part where she cuts a hole in the background, because to me, it seemed like she was cutting through reality to move around, but now that I've seen the finale, this could just be seen as how Rio enters or leaves Billy's hex, aka the witch's road or whatever, right? Twink said to Jen, I am fully aware that Agatha can be nothing but a covenless witch. And Agatha was listening, unbeknownst to Billy, and she said, ouch, like she was really hurt by what Billy said. Like, girl, you have been serial killing witches. You have been mass murdering witches since the 1700s. What you mean, ouch? They the ones who should be saying, ouch, Agatha. What are you talking about? Now, even though they have no green witch, Agatha wants to continue going forward. She's like, I got it. I'm leaving here with something. All right. Billy said without a green witch, we are back to square one. And it's crazy looking back, knowing that his mind was in charge of all this in the witch's road, because we see later on that he literally took them back to square one, just like he said, right? Agatha trips over the shoes that they took off when they first started on the road. Agatha then checks to see if she technically made it to the end of the road by trying to use her powers. In the end, she still doesn't have power. So she's like, I haven't made it to the end of the road. And she gets up so mad. She's like, that's it? This is it? How exactly do we get off the road? Now, knowing now that Agatha already kind of had a hunch, already knew that Billy was making this road the whole time, I can see why she was so angry. Remember when she said, if you don't know how to get off the road, then keep quiet. Like, girl, almost like, boy, like, you made this mess. You got us in here. You can't even get us out. Like, if you don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about, just be quiet while I try to figure this out. You just like your mama. Just like your mama. Agatha's like, girl, whatever. I'm going to keep going. And Jen really does not feel that. She's like, that stuff was horrible that we just went through. I'm not going to endure that experience again. But listen, Agatha is not going to be stopped. She's like, girl, I'm leaving here with something. I didn't come all this way to not get any powers when I'm done with this. Like, you serious? So here when Billy says screw the road and puts on his shoes, like, because first they had taken their shoes off out of respect or whatever for the road. He says screw the road, puts on his shoes. It seems like he changed the rules of his own game or something, because as soon as he puts on them shoes, they're taken to the last trial, essentially. All three witches wake up in a morgue. Agatha said it's technically her basement. They're underneath grow lights, Jen notices. Jen considers that maybe they're supposed to, obviously grow something here. And then they start talking about Jen being bound. And this part got me so heated. This part got me so mad. Because, we talking about Jen being bound. And Agatha starts acting a little funny. And so Jen puts it together like, girl, are you the one who bound me all those years ago? Like, are you serious? Karen, are you the one who chased after me in a grocery store to bound me because you thought I was shoplifting? Like, Karen. And Agatha was like, oh, I didn't know it was you. It was the 1920s. Agatha's almost like, yeah, girl, we used to call y'all colored back then, but it was the 1920s. Can you forgive me? Oh my gosh, I done told y'all since like episode 2 that y'all need to treat this black woman, y'all need to treat Jen with some kind of respect, or else I'm going straight to NAACP. I'm going to the NAACP on y'all. And now you mean to tell me that you had her bound, held captive, chained, shackled for 100 years, for 100 years? Oh my goodness, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm going to call, like I said before, the ACLU. It's giving class action, girl. It's giving like civil lawsuit, like civil rights lawsuit. Y'all played around with Jen too much. Jen snatched that hair up off of Agatha's scalp. Jen snatched that hair up, wrapped it around those wrists like we're about to start doing some BDSM. And she said, I deny your power over me. You hold nothing. You hold nothing. You hold nothing. Like, she kept saying it over and over again. And I was like, girl, you keep repeating this over and over. It better work. It better work. I was thinking the same thing that was going through my mind when Melisandre was repeating that spell 100 times, trying to light the trench, just like Jon Snow wasn't sitting right there the whole time with Rhaegar. He could have just said Dracarys. Melisandre was talking about some Axio Sonyo, Elon Misa, Axio Sonyo, Elon Misa, Axio Sonyo. I was like, girl, nobody had a lighter they could have tossed you, girl. I know somebody's smoking Westeros. Y'all stressed out. Y'all so stressed out in Game of Thrones. Y'all so stressed out in Westeros. Nobody was up there smoking. Girl, somebody around here smoke. Please give Melisandre a lighter, girl. We trying to light this trench. Girl, anyway, so Jen says all that. She repeating all that. And she's finally released from bondage. My goodness, this black woman finally able to take her chains off. Finally able to take her chains off. No thanks to this white twink or this white woman. Oh my gosh. Anyway, she got her powers back. She disappeared, of course, because she got what she wanted from the road. The road gave her prize or whatever. Although in reality, she was the one who took the binding off of herself, if we think about it. So y'all got my sis sobbing and everything, like just feeling her power after a century of it being gone. You know what I mean? Y'all will pay. Oh, my voice. Y'all will pay for what y'all did to Jen. I'm so serious. Anyway, Agatha's looking at the twink like, hey, sis, I came here for power. I want power. You have power. Just juice me up. And the twink is like, girl, you got another thing coming if you think that I'm that dumb just to give you my power so you can take it all away. Like, you got something. Something must be seriously wrong with you, girly. And, and Agatha must have been thinking like, all right, fine, I'm gonna just help this boy get what he wants and see if that changes anything with this road that he's created. Maybe that's what was going through her mind when she was like, all right, I'm gonna just help you find Tommy. So that's what they do. And Billy's like, wait, I don't have any idea how to do that. Agatha's like, girl, not yet. Just sit down. It's time to grow up. And I was like, yeah, Twink, sit down. It's time for you to use your powers, girl. Let's get into it. She said, Tommy's not waiting out there. At least he's not in a body, not yet. So Agatha tells him, hey, you got to go back to the last moments that you remember with your brother. Breathe until you can find him. Breathe with him until you hold all that he is basically inside you. And Agatha guides him through when Wanda's folding her world, like ending the hex, that moment in time. She tells Billy, just push past that moment, keep breathing, And then, as he's, I guess, holding Billy's essence, or Tommy's essence, I should say, in himself, he's like, all right, this feels crazy. Like, I'm looking for a place to put him. I don't know where to put him, And Agatha's like, girl, you got to find somewhere to put him. Find somewhere to put him. Billy struggles to do this at first, but then he feels that, this one boy in particular is about to drown. He just feels like some random boy is about to drown. So they wait for him to drown. Sorry. They wait for him to drown, honey. And, instead of using his reality warping powers to help this drowning boy, Agatha and Billy, they basically just wait for him to drown. Or I guess the kid is already dying. Whatever. Like, and they put Tommy essentially in that kid. Once he does, Billy has gotten what he wanted from the road, aka wanted from himself. And now he has disappeared, leaving Agatha there by herself, right? But before he goes, he kind of asks her what we are all thinking. Like, was I killing this drowning boy in order to get my brother back? Is essentially what he asked, but he didn't get the answer. Agatha essentially says to herself, like, no, like, Billy, you didn't kill this boy. Sometimes boys just die. Obviously relating it back to her son. So sad. But yeah, I mean, baby, you got all them powers. You could have saved at least one drowning kid or something. They said, let me evict that spirit. Let me evict that soul. That's what from your body, so I can put Tommy's in there, honey. So the grow lights are about to go out completely. Agatha whips out Nicholas's hair and a little dandelion thing, and she says, out of death, life. Then she uses a tear, plants it in the ground, the flower starts growing. Y'all seen it, right? So when she exits the crumbling room, Rio is sitting out there waiting for Agatha on the roof, just cackling. Like, she's just... I know Aubrey had so much fun playing this role. Agatha expects for her powers to come out of her. Like, she expects for her powers to work, but nothing does. She's like, I got the kid out, basically. What more do you want? And Rio's like, now, no, girl, you know what the tea is, honey. Stop playing with me. He was supposed to surrender himself, not just get out the road or get out of the hex that he himself created. He was supposed to surrender. And if he doesn't, then you're coming with me, essentially. You know that. And if that wasn't bad enough, right? Rio says, hey, guess what? I'm thinking death by 1,000 cuts. Girl, goodness. Rio broke them dishes, mirrors, and windows all over Agatha's skin, sis. Like, her skincare routine is ruined. Retinol ain't gonna save this one. Ain't gonna solve this one quick. I can tell you that. Agatha starts to try and do a spell to expel the evil. And Rio's kind of scoffs at this because she's like, girl, I'm not evil. I'm literally just the natural order of things. So all these spells and stuff that you're trying to use against me, it's not really gonna work. And that's when Rio calls Agatha a coward. And Agatha is better than me because I would not have remembered to duck in the middle of that fight. I can tell you that. I guess it depends on, like, realistically, or as it relates to the time frame of the show. I guess it depends on how long ago Lilia told me this, right? But I done forgot that quick. I'm telling you. I was like, oh, she calling her a coward? Completely forgot until Agatha said, oh, you need to duck. Oh, girl, whatever that was it a sink or something that came flying through that house? That would have hit me. I promise you. Because I'd been like, did you just call me? Fight me. I would have forgot. That's why I'd be setting alarms and reminders on my phone and stuff. Like, I would have had to set a reminder. But that, like, Siri would have had to just scan for anybody saying the word coward and just send me an alert or something. They would have to send me an alert, girl. I don't know. But yeah, Rio was not playing with Agatha at all. Like, slashed her Achilles tendon. It was terrible. So just when Agatha is restrained, like getting ready to die by Rio's blade, Here comes Wiccan, moving her across the yard like she was an air hockey puck. Do you hear? Yes! Look at Wiccan coming down with his full gig, his full wig, his full get up, honey, his full like he was in it. The little bolts around his hands and stuff. Yes, God, I love the outfit. So then Wiccan's dumb self gonna say to Agatha, girl. Then Wiccan's dumb self gonna say to Agatha, don't take it all, and blast Agatha with his powers. Now, let me tell you something right here. Let me tell you something. If it was up to me, Agatha would never ever again feel the light of magic, feel the spark of life of magic within sparkling, glistening within her veins, on top of her nerves, ever again in her life. She would never feel magic's touch ever again. If she messing around with me, if up to me, I'm not giving you my powers. What are you talking about? I'm not giving Agatha a drop of my power. Bro, you watched her snatch Alice up. And if you did your research on her like you said you did, you was standing her. If you did your research, you would know that she's snatching up everybody's powers. She's snatching everybody up. Like, I get Wiccan's probably trying to be nice after feeling guilty because of all the other witches who died, but I would never let Agatha get close to my powers. I promise you. Even if that meant she would die, like, so sorry, babes. So yeah, Agatha snatches that power, and I was like, girl, she gonna take it. Girl, she gonna take it. The whole time I was watching I was like, girl, she finna take it. She finna take it. But then, I mean, because Wiccan started looking like he belonged in a hospital. Face looking wrinkled up like a scrotum. I'm telling you right now, I was like, girl, she finna take them powers. But then she ended up only taking like what she needed, thankfully. I'm sure a little bit more than what she needed. But I was like, girl, Wiccan, it wasn't about to be over for him for real, because they need to use him for Young Justice. But I was like, girl, Agatha would have never been able to touch my powers. I promise you that. She tries to fight Rio after they toss Wiccan like he a rag doll. Eventually, Agatha gets knocked down, but Wiccan tosses Rio again. I'm just like, girl, we're going to have to figure out a different attack, Wiccan. Agatha rightfully says, this is kind of futile because she's like a cosmic essence. Like, she's death. Like, we're not going to fight death. I'm going to give myself up. It has to be me. It has to be me. So that she will let you go free. And Wiccan gonna say to Agatha, you're not bad. And Agatha says, you're the only one who thinks so. And I'm just like, yeah, I bet, girl. Like, and after that final episode, I can't possibly imagine why Billy would be the only one to ever think that you're like a good person. Anyway, Billy said Agatha is not bad. I'm just like, Agatha is bad. She's just not bad to you. And if you stayed around her, that relationship will end up as toxic as the one that she was like developing with her son. No shade. Like that was toxic. But when the time came to give herself up like she said she would, Agatha acted like she was giving Billy up instead. And I was just sitting there ungagged. I was like, yeah, girl, of course she gave you up, girl. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. She was about to snatch your powers, girl. She was about to turn you into a dried out raisin, honey, a dried out prune. And like, I don't know what, like, of course but then Billy telepathically asks her, is this how you lost your son? Is this what you want? Is this who we are? Is this what we represent? He asked her that. And maybe that is what, unless she planned to do it this whole time, but maybe that is what made her turn around, kiss Rio, sacrifice herself, and let Billy go free. Now, I'm guessing if you're a Marvel baddie, right, you just die by falling, right? Because these witches die that way. You got Lilia, now you got Agatha. And then I'm thinking about who else fell. I saw somebody online talking about Black Widow also fell. I'm just like, girl, everybody except her. I guess I should have put the caveat there. Because remember, she died falling when Thanos pushed her. But I don't stand pedestrians. You either have powers or you're a civilian who needs to stick to the crosswalks and sidewalks that you're used to. Only people with powers here. Thank you so much. When it's all said and done, Rio tells Billy that he can go now after he picks up Agatha's locket. I think these were some really cool scenes, like watching Agatha basically decompose and turn into all these beautiful flowers and plants and stuff. It happened so quick. This walk of shame had me cackling. Let me tell you something, because like once I found out that he was in charge of this, or he was responsible for the Witch's Road, like this walk of shame had me screaming, because it was almost the exact same way his mama left Westview. Just the head hung low, hood over your head, just just sad. Just, you know what I mean? The same way his mama left Westview. And at this point in the episode, he don't even know that was him yet. And you still walking around just like your mama. Like just shame, honey. His parents here are so worried about him. I'm just like, you gonna have to tell them that you are a superhero or anti-hero at this point, I guess, right? Because I think if they can handle you being gay, they can handle you being a little wizard or something, with little witch or something, okay? Billy goes back up to his room, and here's where we find out that it was he who made the road the whole time. Like, I gotta say, I'm honestly gagged. I heard that some people were saying it like, oh, it could have been Billy who made the road, da 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 da. Honestly, I didn't take those theories seriously. I mean, I don't know if there were leaks or theories. I try not to do leaks on my channel and stuff. Like, I mean, behind the scenes and stuff and previews is one thing, but like dead leaks, I don't really like doing that, because I'd be like, at this point, we spoiled the story. So I don't know if it was leaks or anything, but I just didn't buy it, because I was like, how are they going to ever tie it together effectively so that Billy is actually the one who made the road, but it doesn't seem like weird or strangely placed or like it didn't make any sense. I really did not think they were going to go in that direction, but it literally all made perfect sense to me. Like, once I was just putting it together in real time and thinking about the previous episodes, like Jack Schaefer and that creative team, like the geniuses that y'all are, like, really. Because we end up seeing Lorna's song, of course. We see the inspiration for the cosplay that they were in while they were walking the road. You know, we saw the Ouija board. We hear him saying, you know, that's exactly how I pictured it, of the witch's road. And it's just relating to all of these things that he has in his mind and also in his room, right? And so now I'm tempted to watch the entire show over with the knowledge that it was him doing it the entire time. I love these kinds of like twists and stuff. That's kind of the same like gig they gave us with Wanda, but they took a different route, a very interesting route to get us there. I just loved it. It was fun. It was fun. We remember that Agatha was talking about, you're just like your mother. You and your mother have the same tell. Like, I think that narratively, everything fell into place perfectly. Then we get the episode where, you know, Agatha, or get to the part of the episode, the end of the episode, where Agatha's ghost is popping up on Wiccan. Like, we know it's Agatha's ghost. And so you're going to have to check out my next video where I review that. Honestly, it should already be out by now. I'm probably going to release both of them at the same time. But yeah, I think that this was such a perfect way to start wrapping up the show. And like I said, all the pieces, the moving pieces, everybody's stories felt like it made sense, especially Jen. I'm just like, oh my goodness, y'all. Jen deserves so much better, but I'm glad she at least got the ending that we see in the finale. I just think that y'all know how to write. Y'all know how to write. And that is, you know, y'all establish these characters as fully fleshed out characters of their own and give them backstories. Like, y'all know what y'all was doing. And so I just want y'all to spread that the intelligence that y'all have and the creativity that y'all have around the rest of the company, because some of these girls need some help. Some of these writers, some of these people need some help. On that note, thank y'all so much for watching. Love y'all so much, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, the sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing, fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zeraxia, The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zeraxia.com, sign up, join the wait list, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.